Thanks so much, Mr. Chair. It's impossible for me to jump into questions regarding labor law without first acknowledging that this administration is now, in this moment, actively working to subvert labor law in our country and has actively created a massive crisis for hundreds of thousands of workers in my state and across the country. I am a senator in my home to the people of the state of Maryland, where we are the proud home of 494,000 federal workers and contractors. Today, we are in day 8 of a government shutdown, a shutdown that impacts each of these constituents. And let's just speak plain language. My colleagues have the keys to the kingdom. They have control of the White House, the Senate, and the United States House of Representatives. And so they are in control. And their refusal to come to the table in good faith and negotiate a plan that both keeps the government open and makes sure that health care is affordable and accessible is an abdication of duty. So many Marylanders would like to show up to work today and serve the American people, but have been left behind by this administration. Hundreds of thousands of civil servants have been either furloughed or are forced to work without pay, all because this president has decided to shut down the government. These dedicated workers, whether deemed essential or furloughed, are legally entitled to back pay at the end of this shutdown. And yet the Office of Management and Budget, headed by the, I would say, very sinister Russell Vogt, has used this Republican shutdown as an opportunity for open and blatant worker retaliation. Right before the shutdown, the same guy, Vogt, first said that he wanted workers and federal employees to feel so traumatized, this is his quote, that they would not want to come to work each day. He also instructed agencies to use a shutdown as an opportunity to issue permanent government layoffs. And just yesterday, reports surfaced that this same guy, Vogt, is now circulating a memo that would seem to challenge the legality of furloughed workers receiving back pay. And this is the same law that President Trump signed, and he said that he would refuse them pay. So, Mr. Abruzzo, I'd like to ask, you are a dedicated career professional who has defended workers' rights and protections under the law. Under the National Labor Relations Act, is it illegal for an employer to threaten employees with a loss of pay to coerce them during a lawful labor dispute?
Thank you for the question, and yes, it is, and I so appreciate you raising this issue because federal employees are the backbone of our government. They keep our workplaces safe, our food safe, our airspace safe, and they don't deserve this. They didn't ask for this, and they should not be bargaining chips in negotiations. As you correctly noted, this is a bullying tactic. Unfortunately, this is not the first time that the administration has inflicted trauma on these dedicated workers. And the president knows better. As you said, he signed the law in 2019 that provides for back pay for these furloughed workers who, I'm just reminding you, did not ask for this and want to get back to work.
Thank you. And I want to use that same standard to illustrate, again, what's happening now. Let's make the point finer. Federal workers who are being prevented from working, they're locked out of their jobs. And as you've mentioned, we're not imagining that this was done by design. This guy, Russell Vogt, said it out of his mouth, that it is his intention to make sure people feel too traumatized to come to work. And so this is intended to hurt my constituents. And I'd like to ask you, what does it mean as the former NLRB General Counsel, Mr. Abruzzo, would you tell me what it means to cripple the investigative and enforcement functions of the NLRB, what it means for workers across the country?
Yeah, it means that the system is rigged against workers and they can't exercise their congressionally mandated rights to organize, unionize, and collectively bargain in order to get a fair share of what they deserve. And it is just enabling law-breaking activity.
And so just to be clear, and I just have a few seconds left here, the Department of Labor has furloughed over 76% of its staff, leaving a skeleton staff to keep American workers safe and protect their civil rights in the workplace. And just 24% of OSHA staff are working without pay. Just 10 employees are working at the wage and hour division, the division charged in part with preventing child labor. All 10 are working without pay. So this is a horrible mess. And I want to just leave with a quote of President Trump, who once looked into the camera and told us the following, and I quote, "If the government shuts down, I think the president would be blamed, and rightfully so." This shutdown lands at his feet. Thank you.
For the record, if Senator Schumer would agree to reopen, it could reopen tomorrow.